Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, as the White House creates more money out of thin air, thinking that it will fix inflation, I am converting my fiat currency into real stuff at the fastest rate that I can. Every day that you hold on to your dollar, it is worth less. So I recommend that you do a bit of research and decide for yourself whether or not it would be a good idea for you to convert some of your dying U.S. Federal Reserve notes into things that you know you are going to need in the near and even further out into the future. Before I begin to show you some of the things that I stocked up on, I wanted to show you some of the prices that I encountered on my last trip to the Fairbanks, Alaska Costco. When I first started buying these eggs about a year ago, they were $6.49. Now that's 90 cents more than what it was about a year ago. So average 45 cents per dozen more. Butter, ladies and gentlemen, you all know I love my butter, and I remember the prices I was paying for these because I was bragging about how 1 pound of butter came out to $2 each when these 4-pound packs were selling for $7.99. This 50-pound bag of flour, it hasn't gone that much up in nominal value. It used to be about $16, $17, and it's now up about $3 more than it was a year ago. But $3 is still a substantial amount percentage-wise when you divide it by $16 or $17 per 50-pound bag. Now this oil, ladies and gentlemen, when I started buying this oil, it was only about $18.99, and now it's selling for $30 for 2 of these containers. And this Himalayan pink salt, $4.95. These pinto beans, 25-pound bags, used to sell for $15 for 25-pound bag, and now it's $23. And the rice, ladies and gentlemen, I remember buying this rice for about $27 for a 50-pound bag, and now it's selling for $36. Now the price that I paid about a year ago for everything that you just saw came out to about $97.50. And when I add up the total of what everything costs today, it's $132.69. That is a total increase of 26.5%. Ladies and gentlemen, from 1 year ago, these staple products have increased in price in my area, because I can't talk for everyone else's area. But these staple products have increased in price by more than 26%. Anybody that doesn't think that the dollar is dying, you're going to have a rough time ahead. I hope you like to work a lot, because you're going to need to work a lot just to be able to eat. Now let me go ahead and show you some of the things that I got that I think are the things that are going to start to go away before food starts to go away. You see, I believe that before food becomes scarce, especially after the government starts to put capital controls on food, meaning that they're going to start to regulate the amount that shops, supermarkets, stores can charge per goods. Once the government starts to do that, foods will start to become scarce. But before foods start to become scarce, there are other things that I think will become scarce. And those are things that we do not need in order to live, but that make our life a little bit better. Ladies and gentlemen, everything that you see here, you do not need to live. However, I truly believe that before there is scarcity in sustenance, i.e. in food products, that there will be scarcity in those things that make our lives a little bit easier and that make our lives a little more pleasurable. For example, you don't need this to live. But it sure is nice to have clothes that smell nice. And what's prepping about, ladies and gentlemen? It's about getting through a crisis. But it's also about trying to maintain the standard of living that your family is used to living. Because if you can maintain somewhat of a normalcy to the standard of living that you're used to already, your stress levels will be a lot less than if you had to go without those basic things that you were used to having on a regular basis. Let me go ahead and show you this. I went ahead and picked up another silky saw. And let me tell you why I picked it up. I was watching the Canadian Preppers channel, and he sells these in his shop. Okay, the Canadian Preparedness Store. And he has a direct connection with the manufacturers of these Silky Saws. And they pretty much told him that these are going to be going up in price by about 40%. So ladies and gentlemen, what's it hurt to have an extra one? I believe that if you have a chainsaw, or if you depend on wood to heat, or if you depend on wood for anything, for cooking outside or heating, man, having a Silky Saw is just a necessity to have as a backup in case your chainsaw gets stuck. And guess what? They're still available, ladies and gentlemen. They are still available. Another one of the niceties in life, having stuff that you like. We like this soap. This is just regular hand soap. And guess what? We like how it smells. So why not get it now that we know that we can get it? And as you can see, we got more than just one. We got enough to last us a long time. Do you want to get stuck doing your dishes with sand? If you don't, then pick up some extra dish detergent or dish soap now that it's available, ladies and gentlemen. These are the things that I'm talking about. I believe that the manufacturing of these kinds of items are going to become scarce a lot sooner than food would. So pick them up today. Pick them up en masse. Don't care what anybody says. I'm sick and tired of people saying, oh, you're a hoarder. No, I'm going to use this. Eventually, I'm going to use this. I know how much of this we go through. We go through one of these about every 3 months. All right, we go through one of these about every 3 months. That means that right there with the 5 that you've seen that I picked up right there, we have enough for about 1.25 years. So when you look at something, it may look like a lot, but it's not really that much when you span it out to the amount of time that it's going to last you. We love using this soap. This is like an oatmeal bar soap. It's made in Australia. And this soap is just great. We love using it. It's nice and hearty. It smells great. It lasts a long time. So we picked up an extra box of this because we already have 1 box in reserves. So that makes it 2. However, we also picked up some cheaper soaps that we also like. This is kind of like the Dove soap. You know that Dove soap that has the lotion in it? But this is the Kirkland brand. And this is very good quality soap at a pretty good price. This is 15 bars, and I think it costs like $11. Now, yes, I know how to make my own soap. Very easy to make your own soap, as long as you have the ingredients to make it. However, ladies and gentlemen, this is available now. Making your own soap isn't necessarily that cheap, or cheaper than what you can get it for at the store. Why not stock up on it now? If you have dollars, transfer those dollars into something that you know you're going to use in the future, and that is guaranteed to go up in price. A couple other things that we use on a regular basis is Oxiclean. Now, I'm not sure if you know this. Maybe I'll do a video on this. But if you take a cup of citric acid and about a 1/4 cup of Oxiclean and you put it in your washer, like maybe every 2 months or so, it actually maintains the inside of your washer and makes sure that it keeps it clean and that it has very minimal soap buildup or soap scum buildup. So this is a great thing to have. We use it for that. We also use it to clean the toilet with a little bit of citric acid. And in addition to that, you can also use it to clean your clothes as well. As you can see here, we took advantage of the sale that Costco was having. They were selling these, I believe it was for $7.99, where they're normally $9.99. So we stocked up on those. We have enough of those Bounce fabric sheets now to last us probably about 1.5 years. Another thing we picked up, ladies and gentlemen, was enough laundry detergent to last us about a full year. This is for the high efficiency washers, but you can also put some of this in a bucket if you end up having to wash your clothes in a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket with a plunger or something like that, right? You can still use this. But my point is this. This was at a very good sale. 225 loads, and I think it was like $12. Now, normally, we like to use the small tabs that Costco sells, the little, the ones that come in an orange container. We like to use those because they're easy to use. However, this was a much better deal than that. Almost twice as many loads for the same price. We ended up getting 3 of those. That's enough laundry detergent, ladies and gentlemen, for us to do about 2 years worth of laundry, roughly. Again, yes, I do know how to make my own laundry detergent. As a matter of fact, I have some of the ingredients right here. All right, this is stuff that I had already purchased, and I'm just putting it up for cold storage because I don't plan on using it unless I have to use it. And the last thing that we picked up, ladies and gentlemen, was some paper plates. We picked up a couple of these of paper plates. We already have about a 6-month supply in the house, but I'm going to go ahead and store these up here on the loft so that it can be out of the way inside of our house. This loft that I have has plenty of room for me to put everything that you saw me get probably 10 times over. I'm going to use every bit of that room, ladies and gentlemen, because what I'm telling you is this. When I tell you that the dollar is dead, if not almost dead, I tell you this because I mean it. It's my opinion, but as a study of history and as a person that can just read and write and has a little bit of common sense, the dollar is going away. Maybe not in its name, but as far as what it can buy you, it's going away. This inflation thing is not going to end anytime soon. And the only thing that governments ever do to fight inflation is what I told you during the beginning of this video, is they print more money to try to get themselves out of what they got themselves into by printing money in the first place. In my opinion, the best way for you to protect yourselves is to go ahead and stock up on all of the things that you need. Study Venezuela, because that's where we're headed.